Hey everyone! Today I want to talk about a special topic that a lot of you guys are interested in: how to quit your job and become a full-time house flipper. As I'm recording this today, exactly 1 week ago, I celebrated the 3rd anniversary of me breaking free of the corporate world. So 3 years ago, I was laid off from my plush tech job without any warnings. I had heard about this saying that if you work in the Silicon Valley but you've never been laid off before, then your life isn't complete. But I never thought this would happen to me. If I didn't start my side hustle as a house flipper many months before the layoff happened, this would have been a disaster. But because I already ventured out in real estate investing and completed 2 flips before I was laid off, the layoff actually seemed more like a blessing in disguise. So after I was laid off, I decided to not look for another job, but go all in on my house flipping career, and I never looked back. Ever since then, a whole new world opened up to me and business really took off. Every day, I feel so motivated to wake up and I really love what I do. Being my own boss and living on my own terms is really the best thing that ever happened to me. And my only regret is not leaving the corporate job sooner. If you are pondering quitting your job and starting real estate investing but are too afraid to pull the trigger, watch this video because I'm going to share with you the 3 options you have and also the steps I took to prepare for this transition myself. First, let's talk about the 3 options you have before you can quit your job and start a side hustle. The first option, of course, you can quit your job right away. But this is risky and it takes guts. Before I was laid off from my job, I wanted to quit for many months, but the appeal of a steady paycheck held me back. Immediately after you quit your job, you're not going to have an income anymore and you probably will lose your health insurance. So this approach really requires the most commitment and it requires a lot of planning ahead. The second option is you can take an unpaid leave for a few months to work on your side hustle. Not all companies allow this, and this is still risky because you're going to have a gap in your career, and if the business doesn't take off within the few months, you may have to go back to your old job, and you probably already lost some opportunities for promotion or even the whole position. Given the downside of the first 2 options, I like the third option better, which is take 2 to 3 hours out of your workday or use the evenings and weekends to work on real estate for a few months to a year, and this is exactly what I did. This is a lot less risky because you still have the paycheck and all the benefits from your job, and if real estate doesn't take off, you can still fall back onto your old job. Because this is rather safe, you can ease into real estate and take the time to decide whether this is the right career for you. So this really seems like the superior option out of the 3, but there's also a downside. Because you have to use all of your leisure time to build the foundation of your business, you really need a very strong drive and self-discipline to make it work. Based on your unique situation, choose one of these 3 options that works the best for you. Once you decide on the right approach, you also want to prepare yourself for this transition and get started. I'm going to share with you exactly what I did to get started in house flipping while still working a full-time job. I've mentioned a few of these tips in my previous videos, but make sure you watch until the very end because I have a few new tips that I've never shared before. First of all, you want to educate yourself. To educate yourself, you can take a course. As I've mentioned before, I spent a lot of money on a course when I was starting out. It's not necessarily the best approach, but I like courses because they put a system together and you can access all the knowledge regarding house flipping or real estate investing in one place. You can also read books. A book I like is called The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. It covers pretty much all the topics that are real estate investing related, and it's a very good introductory. You can also listen to podcasts like The Flipping Junkie and The Flip Talk. There are also websites and forums available like The Bigger Pockets. And of course, as you are watching this video on YouTube, there are a lot of YouTube videos dedicated to real estate investing. And start from watching the videos on my channel first. I've made videos on how to flip houses with no money, how to analyze a house flip, and a ton of house flip before and after videos. The next tip is networking. Your network is your net worth. And the more people you know in this business, the more people you can learn from and the more resourceful you become. When I was starting out, I went to a ton of real estate meetings and events, and I volunteered to help out in those meetings as well. A great way to find these meetings is to go on meetup.com and look for real estate and house flipping related groups. With the pandemic, in-person meetings are not allowed, but there are still a lot of virtual meetings happening all the time. I also recommend joining Facebook groups that are house flipping and real estate investing related. I'm an admin at this Facebook group for Asian real estate investors called Subtle Asian Real Estate. Check it out if you're interested. The next tip I've mentioned many times before is find a mentor. I've made this video on what to look for in a mentor and how to find a mentor, so I don't want to repeat myself. But I want to point out a few things because a lot of you guys have asked me to be your mentor. I'm open to help out and mentor new investors. That's why I started this YouTube channel. But this mentorship is not a structured program where I lay out the plans and teach you step by step. Instead, this is more like a hotline. So you have to be the driver and do all the groundwork. And as you progress, if you have any questions, feel free to come to me and I will try to answer your questions. The next few tips are going to be a lot more specific and they can really help you build the foundation and knowledge base of a house flipping career. You need to start from learning about the market. If you are starting out and don't know where or which market you want to focus on, start from your backyard. Websites like Redfin and Zillow are a house flipper's best friends. You want to check out the houses that are on the market and the houses that have recently been sold in your neighborhood. You want to look at all the basic home information, the price point, the size, bedroom-bathroom count, lot size, year built, and the style of home, etc. Also look at the pictures to see what kind of finishings are popular in your area. Also pay attention to days on the market, meaning from the day the house goes on the market for sale to the day that the house gets in contract. The shorter the days on the market is, if it's a week or two, that means the market is very hot and there's less supply than demand. You can also save some search criteria, so whenever a new house fits your criteria, you will get notified. The next tip is to hone your skill on deal analysis. How to analyze a deal is the most basic and important skill that a house flipper should master. And it's not as easy as you may think. Deal analysis is one of the first steps that go into a house flip. If your numbers are not correct, it's like the foundation of the building is crooked. Even if you do the following steps correctly, the whole project is still going to collapse. When I was starting out, it took me a while to learn the rope and get comfortable with my numbers. I made this video to explain the process, how I do it. As you learn to analyze deals, I recommend you to practice as much as you can. A good way to practice is to go on Redfin or Zillow and look at houses that are on the market for sale. You can run your analysis and determine how much you think those houses are going to sell for. And you save those listings so you will get notified when the houses are sold, so you can compare the final sale prices to your estimates to see if you were correct. Practice makes perfect. As you practice more and more, you will get better at this. The next tip is go to open houses. At open houses, you can network with agents, you can check out the finishings of a house, and also see how buyers react to a certain property. It's really a great way for beginners to learn. My last tip may surprise you. It's watch HGTV. A lot of people love watching HGTV, but it's not just entertaining, it can also be educational if you pay attention to the right things. My favorite show is Flip or Flop, because the hosts are actually house flippers. In each episode, they show you a house flip from start to finish. They don't show you everything behind the scene, but you can at least learn the rough process and numbers, and I love getting design ideas from the show. A fun fact is, this show actually inspired me to become a house flipper. I had been watching this show for some time, and one day as I was watching it, a light bulb went on in my mind, and I was thinking I actually already remodeled my own home and a rental property at the time, and I loved the remodeling process and creating a dream home. Why not trying this as a career? And the rest is history. I hope this episode is helpful to you. If you are thinking about quitting your job and starting real estate investing, comment below and let me know what your biggest hurdle is, and I'll try to see if I can be of any help. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.